fairies. Might be some other things I'm forgetting.
All right, we're off. Here we go. And we start out Link's house. 10 arrows. This is all dungeons, so we're going to have to complete everything, including Aga. And with Randomizer, we're going to see lots of crazy stuff. So Frostbite taking a pretty standard route. Going to go check Stumpy. Where is SAGTG go?
Going for this hint, perhaps? It's interesting.
20 rupees from Stumpy is actually pretty nice because that allows us to go get some more money from the arrow game. And the lamp is in Skull Woods.
Alright. Yeah, those 20 rupees are pretty convenient because this arrow game's really nice early on in Inverted, given that you're usually pretty starved for resources.
Alright, so Frostbite going to do the arrow game. Pretty easy trick. Stand next to the guy and shoot the ducks as they pass a certain line on the back.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be able to farm up a bunch of rupees here and then probably go do the dig game. SAGTG can attempt to get that lamp here. And what a place for that. I don't even know what those giant spikes are called.
That's a good spike trap right there.
Frostbite getting all of the money.
Yeah. He's probably gonna need it too, because with these settings, it's not unlikely he's gonna have to buy a lot of potions throughout this run.
All right, looks like we're having just a little bit of hiccup on GTG side, but he's just farming up some bombs here.
Yeah.
And lots of digs at the dig game.
Yeah, that was a lot of digs for an almost entirely useless boomerang.
Yeah, that's you normally wouldn't mind seeing a boomerang early in inverted, but in hard mode it's pretty much useless.
Ew. I mean, I've chatted with Frostbite. I know he likes having the boomerang just to make his menu a bit cleaner, so
Sure.
I guess there's that. And there's the promised lamp.
Alright, so we've got one item out of... Yet to see Spike Cave. Excuse me, not Spike Cave. Hype Cave. I imagine we'll see that sooner rather than later.
Yeah, for now it seems Frostbite's gonna farm some bombs as well, though. It's a pretty common strategy to farm bombs here.
And this room actually, well, with those mini Helmosaurs, is a little bit more tricky.
Yeah, that mini helmet is not cooperating.
And just to make it even more fun, you've got that mini Moldworm just bouncing around waiting to cause trouble.
Yeah.
Expect to see that a lot today.
Yeah, there will be a lot of dying in this run, I expect, from both our runners.
Yeah, in expert, I think in expert you can only get the Master Sword and blue and green mail. In hard, you can actually get, you can still get the tempered sword, and I believe blue mail is available.
Yeah.
All right, so GTG gonna leave that chest for now, and he's gonna give us our first look at Hype Cave,
which is actually usually pretty hype in this game mode, given the lack of Sphere 1 locations.
Yeah, I've still been disappointed with it many times when playing inverted, so we'll see.
Yeah, as have I.
$50.
It's pretty good.
Not a great start. Bombs. We got our Moon Pearl.
And a sword. And a glove. I'd say that's pretty hype.
That is a hype cave.
And with that, Aghanim is actually in play right off the bat. So perhaps that will be necessary for our Light World access to Sid.
Yeah, that's right. We can head right up to Aghanim with that lamp and those mitts, and then the sword allows us to cut the carpet there, the drapes.
Yeah, I expect our runners will probably go check out Village of Outcasts in Thieves Town first, though.
Yeah, settings are chaos boss shuffle, so we could have any boss in the back of Thieves Town. Something like Moldorm would be beatable at this time.
Yeah. Something like Vitreous would theoretically be beatable at this time, but I'm not sure our runners are interested.
Oh, that's just mean. All right, GTG farming up a bit of money here as well. Frost is going to give us our first look at the Village of Outcasts. What do we got in the C-shaped house? Not much. If you're familiar with these runners, you'll notice that the sprites that they use are consistent. SAGTG always with the Sailor Moon sprite, and Frostbite with that Plague Knight sprite that he's very fond of. And I want to say the only runner I think I've seen who uses that sprite.
He's the only one I've seen consistently use it, but I know I saw Pinky Rose use it a few times. But
Yeah, I'm sure somebody's tried it out, but that's for me. It's Frostbite's sprite now,
yeah.
and that is so many digs for that boomerang.
And it looks like Village of Outcasts does not have much for our runners, so guess we'll be taking a look at Thieves Town, and there's our map check.
So we got a green pendant in Thieves Town. We've got another pendant in Swamp, and we've got 5-6 crystals at Mire and Ice. Is that vanilla? Yeah.
Yep.
And fire bars and rollers are like the worst part of Randomizer.
Red guards can be quite brutal also.
Yeah, that's true. So GTG actually heading up to the mountain here, and we've got a sword marked for Frostbite. Did they? Oh, so they must have done Hype Cave, and I just missed it.
Yeah, Frostbite checked Hype Cave, and that was quite the rude firebar placement there. I say GTG with the tech grabbing the bushes, which makes you move slightly faster while escorting the old man. For reasons, because this game is programmed, I think. Flippers. Okay.
All right, so we got a shovel, which we can't really do much with here in the dark world.
Does give our runners access to Palace of Darkness.
Yeah, not bad. And we got the blue mail from the old man. We get his old shirt.
And we have the Armos Knights. That fight could take a while, and yeah, Frostbite wants none of that.
It's completable. He's got a sword and he's got the boomerang.
He could certainly fight them if he wanted to, but it would take quite a while.
I'd honestly be tempted to just boomerang them to death or sword them to death. I don't know.
I did boomerang Armos Knights once. It was not pleasant. It took like 5 minutes. That early Master Sword pickup is pretty nice in a mode like Randomizer.
Yeah, I mean, in inverted one, it's nice to have a sword upgrade. In Randomizer, it makes it that much nicer. So, Seed is actually playing pretty nicely so far. This could be a lot worse.
Blue Mail and Master Sword ability is definitely unusually generous. But, of course, it's Randomizer. Who knows what the game will throw at us? Of course, these Lionels have been turned into not Lionels, which makes this significantly easier. And our Turtle Rock Medallion is Quake.
Which we're playing inverted, so not as important usually. Occasionally you do need to enter Turtle Rock from the front, but it's not most often or not you're heading from the back. All right, so Frostbite picking up his blue shirt from the old man. Probably gonna do basically the same routing, and SAGTG probably gonna go do Aga now, right? Probably make the most sense from here.
Given that he has not save and quit, that's about the only other thing he can do on the mountain. So,
I mean, once you do Aga, you've got so much open to you now. In the light world.
From his perspective, it's Pendant Thieves Town or doing this and opening up the entire light world.
This makes so much more sense. And the ball enchanting guards get replaced by two much weaker enemies.
Yeah.
Wow, so far, Aga Tower going light.
Yeah, not putting up much of a fight yet. This could bring SAGTG away from those flippers for quite some time now.
Yeah, those were in the front of Thieves Town, is that right?
Yes, along with a shovel, which is less interesting, but... That red beetle did not really want to die there, I see. Quite beefy.
Yeah, that's true. Man, I gotta say, as a viewer, I am really disappointed in this Aga Tower.
Yeah, there's not enough spike rollers and Lionels in here for my tastes.
Yeah, these enemies are just too easy to get by.
Now, what is this? A Popo guarding the key?
This is hard settings, but that doesn't affect which enemies show up.
Yeah. This castle tower is definitely playing rather nice. Oh, nice. We actually got some use out of our entirely useless boomerang.
Good thing we've got that boomerang. Did he skip the hint, or did I just not read it?
No, he read the hint. It told him that some bombs were in the Dark Village. I'm pretty sure he found those already.
Great. Helpful.
Actually, did he? I'm not sure if SAGTD has been to the Village of Outcasts at all.
No, I think you're right. I think he completely skipped it. And SAGTG making the climb through Aga Tower to get to Aga. That is not randomized.
Thankfully.
And Frostbite not too far behind. Yeah.
Imagine climbing all the way up this tower and finding out you have to fight a Trinex.
Oh man, that'd be terrible. I know people want it. All right, so how many blue balls are we gonna get today?
I'm gonna be boring and go for the average of 3.
Yeah, I was thinking the exact same thing. 3 seems about right. Jen's got 4.
It's 1.
Man, it might even be less than 3, the way it's going.
Yeah. Even Aghanim himself playing nice with just 1 blue ball.
Jeez. I mean, I was really hoping to see some really tough calls and situations and deaths. And so far, this seed is just playing way too nice for an inverted hard Randomizer.
Well, there's plenty of time for that still. As our runners, or at least SAGTG, now has access to pretty much all of the light world, with Frostbite following pretty soon behind him.
Yeah, so what does Uncle have for us today? Not a sword. Just his couple of bombs he was going to use to attempt to kill Aga, but failed.
And
wow.
our tempered sword already.
Unbelievable.
Hard mode, everyone.
Unbelievable. To say that I'm disappointed would be an understatement.
Yeah.
Alright, so Frostbite making his way up. He enters Aga's room there. Our tracker also upset with these settings. We were promised craziness. We were promised some baddiness, and so far it's been pretty straightforward.
Yeah,
right, so
far it's been a very tame Randomizer seed.
Yeah, we're 17 minutes in, and we've got access to the light world.
That all could change. Who knows how many cold stairs are lurking in those dungeons.
That's true. You know, with Chaos Boss Shuffle, finding that ice rod is super important. You just never know when you're going to face a Trinex.
See, now this is the kind of room I like to see in Randomizer.
Right. Give us some more rollers. Even that was pretty tame.
Yeah.
And so far, Escape not giving us much.
Yeah, no, pretty lackluster so far.
Aga 1 down for Frostbite. So Frostbite a little bit behind the SAGTG, but he importantly does have those flippers and that shovel, which could lead to something. So we'll see if Frostbite's able to take advantage of that. And we got a map.
There's a good chance that Frostbite might choose a different route in this light world, utilizing those flippers. Does almost have the cash required to pay King Zora as well.
Yeah. Picking up his tempered sword already.
Yeah, Front of Escape not really paying out at all.
Those big skeletons, are those also called Stalfos, do you know?
I think so. I think those are Stalfos Knights, if I remember correctly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, even finding the lamp, you know, one of the fun things to watch when people run Randomizer is having to navigate dark rooms, because there's a lot more difficult with, you know, randomized enemies. These guys have the light, so it makes it so much easier now.
Now this is what I came here for. This right here. This is why I'm here.
RIP, man, that's a rough room to get through.
Yeah, that might be tricky.
SAGTG going back for some more.
Yeah, he wants that. He wants whatever's in his chest. getting to it might be a bit tricky.
Yeah, with usually, the back of escape has all of the ropes and
Yeah.
and bats. So when it gets replaced
There's...
with these enemies,
Yeah.
all for a big 20. All right, so where are we gonna see SAGTG go now? When I play inverted, I like to put off Kakariko as much as I can.
I do as well. Frostbite likely will, given that he has those flippers, but SAGTG may choose to go to Kakariko. But now he's heading south. As Frostbite also makes his way into the Dark Cross to hopefully not get mauled by those spike traps. I'm sure he will, though.
All right, we got our Bombos,
Bombos medallion.
which means Ice Palace is open.
Yeah, at least part of it. And let me tell you, I've seen a
It's probably
lot
where
of
the hammer.
I've seen a lot of required hammerless Ice Palace dives in the past few days.
You can tell we played a lot of inverted and know how mean these inverted seeds can be.
Yeah, although generally they stop being mean after you access the light world, at least for the most part.
All right, so Frostbite able to navigate the Dark Cross without getting killed there. Takes the intentional death to warp out of the castle, picking up his 20 rupees. We do need to see some sort of progression soon.
The Bombos is noteworthy in that our runners can now defeat Cold Stare, should they encounter one.
Yep. And with Tempered Sword, I mean, they do only have 4 hearts. Blue Male, but I don't know if I want to face Cold Stare with 4 hearts.
Yeah, that's a bit sketchy. Looks like Frostbite's gonna check out Graveyard Ledge and the back of the escape sequence.
Yeah, I like this routing. SAGTG gonna do the south of Kakariko. I think we saw 300 rupees there on the race game, and he's gonna make his way to go grab those.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. It would give him enough money for both Palace of Darkness and King's Aura. Frostbite finding another 300 on the Graveyard Ledge.
Gosh, this seed is so easy. This is like... what is going on here? Money, armor, swords.
Yeah, not a lot of health though, so far.
Yeah, but they're going to be opening lots of chests here in Kakariko.
And we see a fire rod in the back of Escape, along with a bottle.
Yeah, that's nice. It's going to make his Kakariko routing a little bit more clean. Able to check Sick Kid while he's there.
Yeah.
And you think, well, now I got a bottle, maybe you could put the potion in there and dip into pod in case it's bow locked. But this is Randomizer. It's not bow locked at all.
Yeah, something I very often forget when playing Randomizer.
Yeah.
You're just so used to it, you know? A very boring chicken hut. That was disappointing.
And you get a disappointing 10 arrows for it, too. Yeah, the chicken hut with chickens in it. Come on.
Yeah, there's supposed to be like red guards in there.
Right.
So there's red guards in there, probably. And we see our last pendant is at the Tower of Hera.
Yeah, so pod is not logically bow locked. And that actually means Eastern might be fully clearable at this point as well.
Yeah, I mean,
depending on the boss.
The only bosses our runners cannot currently kill are Trinex and Argus.
Yeah, that hook shot is super important in Randomizer. And unsurprisingly, Kakariko coming up pretty empty, which is, I feel, pretty common in inverted. Got that ether medallion. Well, there we go.
Hammer.
There we go.
Finally paying out. That hammer is a pretty big find.
Yeah, so now we can... Well, we can clear Ice Palace. It might not be fully logical to clear it without, like, the hook shot.
Yeah, and our runners are probably quite wary of going through the entire dungeon only to encounter a boss they can't kill.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
they'll probably wait on it.
It's a good thing I'm not running the seed, because I would have last location that hammer pretty hard.
Ah, yeah, I go to CAC so late, usually.
Alright, so GTG getting his bottle. We'll eventually turn that in. We'll see when Frostbite gets down there what the sick kid has for us. We still haven't seen South Shore. We've got those flippers, so we could do all the water checks. Again, Eastern is possibly full clearable. Thieves Town is actually full clearable as well.
Yeah, although there are only 2 items left plus the green pendant.
Yeah, and you don't have the bow for Armos Knights, so it would take a minute.
Yeah, that fight takes quite some time, although sword beams are pretty convenient for defeating them.
Get a question about why putting off CAC. If you've played enough in inverted, you find that though Kakariko has a lot of chests, it's almost kind of like Ganon's Tower, where it feels like it's filled up with a lot of junk.
Yeah, generally I find there's only 1 actual important item in Kakariko, maybe 2.
Yeah, there's a lot of times where I find my go mode item in Kakariko when playing inverted, so I tend to put it off. I'm not saying it's the correct play, but it happens more often than not.
I do tend to wait on Kakariko as well, but it depends on what equipment you have, I suppose.
Sure, yeah. Alright, so our runners gonna make some checks that each of the other one has made, and we'll see. I'm guessing Frostbite's gonna route in South Shore of the Light World after this, since he's got the shovel, which he picked up in Thieves Town, and then he's got the flippers and Zora money, so he can do all that stuff as well.
Yeah, so we'll see what SAGTG is missing out on. Yes, SAGTG is now going to collect his own fire rod.
Which means Skull Woods may be completable.
Yeah, although that boss room is unpleasant no matter what boss is in there. Unless you get
pretty
lucky and it's
terrifying.
Moldorm. Moldorm's pretty tame in that room.
Alright, so the shovel gives us a piece of heart.
Nothing too exciting.
So where's GTG gonna go? Looks like we're gonna see our pod play, maybe?
We're buying a potion, it looks like. Might be heading over to pod after that. Just grabbing the potion and heading out.
I'm guessing Thieves Town, or maybe Skull Woods.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so Frostbite picking up his Bombos tablet from the dam there. Let's see where GTG goes.
Heading up to Skull. Oh, no, changed his mind.
Here's a question. We know what's in the boss room of Thieves Town. When you're doing this mode, do you do the boss first, or you do full clear of Thieves Town and then do the boss?
I tend to just check the boss first, personally, because then you can just leave when you get the last item in the back.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And if, let's say you do the front and the boss and you find 3 items, you may opt to just leave and skip the back entirely.
Did GTG go to Mini Moldorm Cave? I don't believe so.
No, and
Oh,
there's a hook shot in
yeah.
there.
That's a big one.
That's a pretty good item. And a flute.
Wow. The flute is always nice. You know, you never say no to a flute, though not as useful in the inverted mode as it is in the regular mode. You do have to activate it in the light world, and then you can only use it to travel in dark world.
Yeah. And generally it doesn't accomplish very much other than convenience, but since
Yeah.
our runners have not yet found the mirror, it does provide access to the Meyer area. Could be rough for SAGTG though if he opts to go to Skull Woods next and encounters Argus in the back. That could
Yeah,
be quite
that
unfortunate.
is true. Yeah, once we find that ice rod, we'll be able to take on all of the bosses.
Yep. Some of them perhaps not very conveniently, but
Sure.
Ice Rod is the only thing
Sure.
keeping us from killing all of them.
It's always fun to see all the different enemies in the water in Randomizer.
Yeah.
All right, so GTG picking up. Oh, we got a little bully there. Bully in the water, taking away his stuff. Picking up his flippers and shovel in Thieves Town.
And he will opt to continue.
I love the guard in the bush, the arrow guard in the bush inside the water. That's great.
Yeah, that always looks pretty silly. So we'll see what SCGTG opts to do here. I suspect he'll check out the boss.
Yeah, I mean he's got tempered sword. It's still slow, but I don't know. I feel like I would do it.
Yeah, he will opt to fight the boss. We'll be here for a bit, but
Actually handling it pretty well. Frostbite did Ice Rod Cave. Didn't see what he picked up there.
yeah, I don't think it was anything too important.
Tracker keeping us on point. Shout outs to literally Jen doing tracking today. What's a heart container there?
Waterfall Fairy not offering much.
This fight is so slow. All for the pendant and the map.
Yeah,
It is the
so
green pendant, though. That's nice.
yeah, there are 2 items in the back, but that green pennant will at least give him another check whenever he opts to go to the Eastern Palace area.
Yeah, and that's what Frostbite gets to do. The very laggy Zora's domain,
Yeah.
which is actually not too laggy here.
And SAGTG does choose to go back in for the remaining 2 items.
Yeah, that makes sense. He can clear him out. He's got the hammer. What does Zora got for us?
Nothing much.
So Flipper's not really unlocking anything yet, other than access to Ice Palace.
Yeah. Frostbite is gonna take his hook shot up the mountain, which makes sense. There's a lot of checks available up here now.
Yeah, you got Hookshot Cave, and then you've got all of the Light Death Mountain as well. Paradox Cave,
That's
Spiral
Tower of
Cave.
Hera.
And pretty easy Hellway there as well.
That's a rather inconvenient spike trap placement.
Very helpful hint, as always.
Indeed. Only the most helpful of hints here.
Alright, first check in Hookshot Cave, 20 rupees. Another 20 rupees. Got a piece of heart. And another 20 rupees. Item number 3 in Thieves Town, 5 rupees. I love seeing the cannonball guards because I don't believe they're actually in the vanilla game.
Yeah, they're included in the game's code, but they were never actually used anywhere in the game.
Alright, so we've got one more item here in Thieves Town, and Frostbite going to give us a look at a bunch of items here on the Light Death Mountain. Paradox Cave and Spiral Cave. You know, we haven't found maybe the most important item in Inverted, and that's the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror is still at large.
Alright, so the last item is hammerlocked.
Let's see if it's anything good, or if Frostbite can keep skipping this. It's the book. That is
Wow.
required. That is very required. Desert Palace access.
Yeah, this is all dungeons. Desert is a crystal, so it is important for us to get into Ganon's Tower, completing Desert. So, really big item find for SAGTG there.
Yeah, that one might take quite some time for Frostbite to locate.
And Paradox Cave not giving us much. We've got the mushroom there, so another little fetch quest. You know, Frost didn't clear Thieves Town, so I imagine sooner rather than later he will be back. I imagine he's looking for that bow first, though.
Yeah, he does have the flute as well, so once he activates that, he can just flute right to Thieves Town's entrance. And we will shortly be finding out what boss awaits us in Skull Woods. It'll be quite unfortunate for SAGTG if it happens to be Argus.
Yeah. I mean, it's unfortunate for both of our runners if it happens to be Argus, honestly.
Yeah. Argus is not a pleasant fight in that room, but at least Frostbite has the ability to kill Argus.
Mimic Cave gives us our first shield. And GTG having a lot more ease in this room with that Tempered Sword than he did earlier in the game. And we've got the boots. Wow.
Wow.
So,
that's huge.
Available from the beginning.
That's quite a twist.
Yeah, that's the sort of item find, if you're rooting for the Titans mitts, that you want to see.
Oh, SAGTG gets grabbed. Yeah, between those boots and the book, SAGTG might have quite an advantage at the moment. Although, that could very easily change if this happens to be Argus. That would be...
Yeah, and he's going to have to come back and
quite
do
an
it again.
unfortunate time loss.
Frostbite, meanwhile, giving us our first look at Tower of Hera. I'm excited to see which boss we have back here in Skullwoods. Goomba, I usually like to do this when we watch Randomizer races. We haven't done this yet, but I like to guess as to what boss we're going to see in each dungeon. So I'm going to ask you, what are we going to find here in Skullwoods? What's your guess?
I'm going to guess it'll be the famous Helmacopter.
That would be fun. I'm actually going to go vanilla.
Mm.
Boring old vanilla, because this seed has been disappointing.
Ow. This looks
double
cramped.
Armos Knights. Without the bow, this is actually pretty inconvenient. I think you can knock Armos Knights into the spikes, as Chad is pointing out, and have them take a little bit of damage. So
Yeah, the spikes deal gold sword damage to some bosses, I believe. Cold Stare is one of them, I know.
It's close.
This has been quite the interesting boss fight.
Wow, that was a great fight by SAGTG on one heart there. I was
Meanwhile,
holding my
we've got
breath.
we got a vanilla Moldorm chilling in Tower of Hera, although he's got a few more eyes.
He sure does. All right, so I missed what the items were in Hera. Hopefully, our tracker can inform us.
Yeah, I was a bit too preoccupied with the rather amusing Armos Knights, but
Yeah, that was good.
it seems there was nothing useful in Tower of Hera.
So GTG with the boots and actually the first crystal of the game. Crystals and pendants are weighed a little bit differently since it is all dungeons. That is the second actual dungeon for SAGTG. We've got to do 10 plus against Tower plus Aga, which these runners were forced to do early. So
Yeah. And unsurprisingly, SAGTD will be taking the book and the boots over to Desert Palace.
yeah, I imagine he will probably do the South Shore after that as well and get his hook shot.
Likely, we find Cane of Burna in the Spiral Cave.
Which actually will be a little bit more useful when he fights those Armos Knights.
Yeah, although keep in mind, this is hard difficulty, so this Cane of Burna does not provide invulnerability.
Yeah, that's true. But still doing damage to them pretty quickly.
Yeah. It is a pretty useful weapon for killing those quickly if you don't have the bow. And we do have a boots locked Desert Palace.
So I imagine Frostbite going to finish off these town here and make his way to Skullwood since he's got that fire rod as well. So he'll probably be picking up his boots here sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I expect as much.
Frostbite heading back to Armos Knights again, having that having Cane of Burn. I imagine him to pull it out. No, looks like he's not. He's just going to use tempered sword with the sword beams. Actually makes this pretty easy as well.
Yeah, sword beams are one of the more pleasant ways of defeating Armos Knights if you don't have the bow, I would say.
So as long as he goes back in to grab his book, he should be okay. If he decides to skip it, it's going to prove pretty disastrous for him. But we're still early enough in the game that I can't imagine him making any crazy skips. I don't think he feels behind. I don't think either of our runners feels behind yet.
Yeah, there's a chance that SAGTG feels a bit behind from
Yeah,
Loop
that's true.
location, given that those were available at the very start of the seed, but... And he does opt to go back in, so he will be getting his book.
We got our Titansmiths.
Finds the Titansmiths.
Now, normally you'd be pretty excited to see the Titansmiths, but we are playing inverted, so
Yeah, in
it
inverted
makes
mode, it's not the most exciting item.
yeah, it makes opening up some of the warps a little bit more convenient, but doesn't really unlock a ton. We don't have the mirror though, so it actually, our mirror could be Titansmith's locked.
Yeah, it opens the Smith chain, which can otherwise be accessed with the mirror in inverted mode. And it does open the east side of Death Mountain without the hookshot, but while SAGTD has not found it yet, we do know where the hookshot is, so...
Yeah, and I imagine, again, with those flippers that he got out of Thieves Town for him to make his way to South Shore, Mini Moldarm Cave, and pick up that hookshot.
Indeed.
So what are we looking for? We're looking for the mirror. We're looking for King of Samaria. We're looking for the bow.
And maybe the ice rod.
And maybe the ice rod. And what's tough about that? Ooh, we've got Vidi.
Demetrius. This could get dicey.
Yeah, only you got Tempered Sword. Just take it a little slow. Those eyes do a lot of damage, though.
Vitrios is definitely a lot more pleasant to fight when there's not all the slime
right.
floor damaging you.
Yeah, nice fight from SAGTG there.
And we get a bottle for our troubles.
So yeah, the ice rod. We might not find any Trinexes in the crystal dungeons and be able to make our way into GT without the ice rod. So there is a couple of bosses that are inside Ganon's tower that could be Trinexes. So
yeah, the Ice Arrows room as well as the Land Molar room can both have Trinex, but the Modern Tour platform cannot.
So, rip if you're a Fandron Drifters fan right now, because Frostbite chose not to do Skull Woods. So he's going to be missing out on his boots and his first crystal of the game.
Yeah, that might take him a while to get back to. Let's see where he opts to head next. I'm guessing
looks like Eastern.
Heading towards Eastern Palace.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna get our first look at a tablet here from SAGTG, and we get some more cash. So GTG making the play that I think we imagine him to make. He's going to check out the shovel. Then I imagine him to make his way towards the Mini Moldarm Cave. We're getting our first look at Sasha's closet and stealing his retirement fund of 60 rupees.
That's quite unfortunate.
So early on, Frostbite was able to snag a little bit of a lead. It's hard to say who's in front at this point. He did find the hookshot a little bit earlier and was able to clear out Death Mountain, though not really getting anything from Death Mountain. I don't even think he's activated his flute yet, which just shows how much he doesn't care about that. Though it would give him access to the mire area.
Yeah, but he's got other things he can be doing, so he's
probably
not too excited to be doing that just yet.
The longer he goes without Getting those boots, though, the worse it gets for the Fender Runner Drifters. So GTG
Yeah.
going to pick up his hook shot here. And his flute. And we were interested to see where that mirror is, because it could be locked by either the flute or the mitts.
Yeah, the mirror could very easily be in Misery Mire. I've seen it many times before. And SAGTD now catching up on the flipper checks.
We missed a couple dungeons, but we are here in Eastern. Goomba, what's your prediction for the boss here? We've seen, what, 2 Armos Knights, a Vitreous, and a Moldorm?
I mean, I think it's about time our runners encounter a boss they can't kill, so I'm gonna say it's gonna be a Chinex.
Alright. I'm gonna say Helmasaur. Alright, Frostbite has the big key, opens up a compass. Means he's gonna go all the way back to the vanilla big key
does
location.
get that hint, pointing him towards the boots in Skullwoods.
Yeah, that's
So
really good for him.
Likely make his way over there soon.
You know what he could be thinking, though, is the unique item hint was the lamp.
I suppose, but he got a separate hint for that. Actually, did he? No, I think only SAGTG saw that hint.
Yeah, that was in Swamp. So, hopefully for Frostbite and the Front Runner Drifters, he takes that as a hint to go pick up his boots. And not just, oh, that's a hint for my lamp that I got in Skullwoods.
Yeah. Picks up the silver arrows, which will not be terribly useful since this is hard difficulty and they will only be available during the Ganon fight, but...
Yeah, you'll take them. I'll take silver arrows to defeat Ganon with.
Yeah.
Not going to turn him down, I'll tell you that much. Wow, now this is a room.
This room in Randomizer is always absolutely horrifying, especially if you're doing it without the lamp.
Yes, this is one room. Normally without the lamp, ain't too bad. But we got to see what a disaster it was. Also coming up, the room right before Armos Knight's room. That room is pretty rough, usually as well.
Can be pretty messy.
Especially if you're playing a regular Randomizer, because you could have to do it pretty early. But
some more of these shadow things.
Yeah, this seed. I'm gonna have to re-roll this and make them run this again.
Hey, it's Trinex.
He called it. So the ice rod is mandatory. All right, so it looks like Frostbite is making the play to Skullwoods.
Yeah, well, at least that eliminates the possibility of a required ice rod being inside Ganon's tower.
Yeah, that is nice for runners.
It's a crystal dungeon.
GTG going to make use of those mitts and do the smith chain here.
Yeah, and looks like Frostbite will be checking the hammer pegs, so we'll probably be seeing a high five from a runner shortly. Or no, where is
No,
he?
he doesn't have the mitts. He's going to pick up
Oh,
a
yeah,
potion before. He's going to grab this potion.
Okay, I
That
guess
makes sense.
he's worried about the boss in Skullwoods, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know what it is at this point. And imagine having to do something like Argus.
I always forget that potion shop exists. I tend to forget that house exists, even when I'm playing Entrance Shuffle, which
Yeah.
has bit me a few times.
Alright, so Frostbite going to be picking up his boots shortly. This is good if you're rooting for the Runner Drifters. Where's our next piece of progression gonna be? You know what I'm feeling is Misery Mire.
Yeah, I'm looking at Misery Mire or perhaps Ice Palace.
You know, Frostbite is one of these runners that the reason why I love watching Frost is he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And so when we find the boots here, I'm expecting some sort of reaction from him. And I imagine it will
Yeah,
be a good one.
he will likely not be terribly pleased about this. Smith's not really paying out. He is taking it in stride.
Disappointing, Frost. I was expecting a little bit more. All right, GTG picking up, turning in the Smith. I missed what that was.
Just some cash.
All right, and activating his flute. So I imagine we'll be seeing the Mire area from GTG here pretty soon.
Seems pretty likely, yes. The spike trap is not terribly convenient.
Thinking about a save and quit. Doesn't have a mirror, so he can't mirror back to the Dark World. Let's see where he's gonna.
Looks like he's
got
gonna
some
do
other check.
boots checks before.
Oh yeah, that's smart. We haven't seen. We haven't seen. Have we seen what's on Lumberjack Ledge? I don't remember that.
I don't believe so. We're about to find out, though. Just some arrows.
All right, so we're gonna get Bach Rocks and King's Tomb, which the mitts are required for here in Inverted.
Yeah. And there's our mirror.
Wow. Again, available really, really early.
Yeah, I expect both of our runners are going to be feeling pretty behind after that mirror.
So big fine for SAGTG and the Vendor Runner Drifters.
I do expect that Frostbite will probably get around to finding that mirror pretty soon as well.
Yeah. Surprised Frost hasn't pulled out the Cane of Burna. Maybe thinking that it's a hard mode so it doesn't do damage, but it still deals damage. It just doesn't prevent you from being hurt.
Yeah.
Alright, so 58 minutes, 24 seconds. Frostbite picks up his first crystal. And we're all tied up as far as dungeon count goes.
Yeah, both our runners sitting at 3 dungeon clears, plus the Agate Tower.
GTG gonna clear swamp here.
Muscle memory issues there, it would seem. But I've done that many times myself in Inverted, so...
So if Frost actually clears out swamp next, we might get Chat's dream of maybe a blind ped pool.
Yeah, it is very possible.
Ice rod, bow, a couple different items that could be there.
Yeah, Cane of Samaria as well.
So Frostbite going to activate his flute here, I imagine.
What's that way?
And hopefully he does his boots checks as well. And we've got ourselves a pretty even race here.
Frostbite will will be activating the flute, it would seem. And also selling his bee to the bottle vendor.
Yeah, don't see that too often,
Reasons.
but always fun. All right, if you're GTG, do you immediately go left, or do you do this pretty standard routing of going through swamp and then going back if you have like maybe 2 items left?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like I would just go back first in this situation.
All right, so for Frostbite and the Findown and Directors, this is good. He is going to be making his boots checks, which means he will be picking up his mirror.
Indeed. Very convenient big key in Swamp Palace for once.
Yeah,
So
that's
we can
always
actually just
nice.
check the big chest, which does not have very much for us. And SA will be skipping the left side of Swamp Palace for the time being, at least.
Yeah, usually makes sense.
May opt to go back in after defeating the boss. That is, of course, assuming he can defeat the boss. Could be another try next.
Yeah, all right, so what's your prediction? I believe you're 1 right now.
I'm gonna say Cold Stare this time around.
Ugh.
Ooh, we find the Cane of Samaria in Swamp Palace.
So that means Misery Mire may be full clearable now.
Yeah.
And you know what? Turtle Rock may be full clearable now.
Yeah, that's also true.
Frost's going to give us our look at that mushroom turn in. I'm going to guess Landmo.
Mushroom not really paying off, but he does get to buy a potion while he's here. We've got our Helmasaur King.
A very pink Helmasaur King. I don't believe we've seen any hints for the left side of Swamp yet.
I don't believe so now. I'm not sure what dungeon items we've found in Swamp Palace. I'm not sure how many items are on the west side. And there's our Ice Rod.
Wow. Pretty stacked Swamp Palace. So, pending Quake Medallion, we could be in no mode?
We still
we need the
need
bow.
the bow.
The bow, yep.
SA opting to leave. I'm not sure how many items he's leaving behind, if any. And Misery Mire is Bombo, so yeah, we only need the bow at this point. And that is not a bow, but it is an arrow.
Little high five from our runners here. So Frost needs to make his way to Swamp, and it looks like that's what he's doing. He'll be able to pick up his Ice Rod. He'll be able to pick up his Cane of Samaria. That means we can full clear Eastern Palace now, which is good for SAGTG, as he'll only have to single dip it. None of our runners have actually been in Pod, have they?
No. They have not. And SAGTD will be checking out Misery Mire, which makes sense. At this point, there's no real reason to be scared, because you can now defeat every boss.
Yeah. Blue Mail, 7 hearts, Tempered Sword, he should be alright. So Frostbite making the play for Swamp Palace. SAGTG did leave at least 1 item in Swamp Palace. I can't imagine Frostbite going back for that as well. So I imagine he'll leave that there.
Seems pretty likely, yeah. And
How about a God
big
Miner?
key.
I imagine GTG does the pretty standard routing of going to Vitreous boss room first and then coming back if you don't get anything good.
Way. Opting to not even check the spike chest, which is interesting.
Yeah, skipping out in that chest. It's a little loose there. Hopefully for him, it's just like a key or a compass or something.
Yeah, I mean, he may come back in, I suppose.
Well, bow is needed because this is all dungeons.
The bow is required to shoot the statue in Palace of Darkness, but that's pretty much it.
Problem is, with Allison's saying we need it for the GT climb is the mimics aren't necessarily in that room.
Yeah, there's no mimics. The Randomizer algorithm will never actually place the red mimics in any room, because it doesn't. That would make the logic a total mess.
Yeah.
If
It could lock.
Suddenly just be bow locked.
Yeah, bow lock stuff that shouldn't be bow locked. Alright, so Frostbite actually doing the left side. So we're going to find out what that item on the left side of Swamp is.
If that's the bow, that could be pretty huge for Frostbite here.
Yeah, if it's the bow, GTG is going to last location hit pretty hard.
Also, what is this boring vanilla Vitreous?
Yeah. I mean, these runners have done a great job with the seed. It's just the seed that's been really disappointing.
So, we're still looking at 2 items left in Misery Mire. We'll see if SAGTG opts to go back in to look for them. Looks like a no.
Wow.
That's quite bold.
Yeah, when you're 1 item away from go mode, making those skips seems, I don't know, pretty loose.
And just a shield in the left side of Swamp Palace.
Alright, so that's going to work out in GTG's favor there. So GTG going to make his way through Sasha's closet and get his 60 rupees. And then imagine full clear Eastern Palace. We'll see where Frostbite heads after Swamp.
Could see our runners perhaps going for Turtle Rock.
Yeah, that makes sense. None of our runners have gone into Ice Palace, which is clearable as well.
Yeah.
I feel like I would do Ice before Turtle Rock. I'm not sure. I mean, the way GTG's routing, he's routing like he's in go mode, so he might just go mode Ice Palace anyways.
Yeah, GTG's playing very aggressively right now. It's a bit peculiar.
Alright, so there is Canis Maria for Frostbite. We'll see if GTG goes and gets his silver arrows. The way he's running, he might skip them.
Yeah, he might. The silver arrows are in the big key chest here in Eastern Palace.
Frostbite gonna take on Helmasaur here. You know, if GTG finds the bow in somewhere like Turtle Rock or Ice Palace and is able to skip out on all these chests that he's done, you know, that may be the difference.
Yeah. I'm also not sure if there's an item on the boss here in Eastern Palace. Or if it's just a dungeon item. I guess we'll find out. I can't quite remember if Frostbite found both the map and compass when he was here earlier.
Yeah, this has been a fast seed. You know, we predicted a lot more deaths early on, and things have been going pretty smoothly for our runners. So
Our
Frostbite
local
able
tracker
to,
keeping us straight here. Informing us that
yes,
the map and compass were found, so the boss does have an item.
yeah, big shout outs to literally Jen again today. So Frostbite going to be able to route in Desert and Mire at the same time, so that'll work out pretty well for him.
And gets his mostly useless Titan Smiths. But they are convenient to have, I suppose.
Yeah, they're convenient. They don't actually unlock anything.
Not at this point, at least. Found that King's Tomb for Frostbite, I guess, but I
Yeah,
doubt
but
he'll be making his way to that anytime soon.
yeah, and King's Tomb had what, like 20 rupees or something? Useless.
Something equally interesting. Piece of heart, maybe.
So the real question is, what is Trinex going to have for us?
It will be pretty amusing if it's the bow, but what are the odds, right?
Yeah, I'd say pretty low. A little bit of delay there from GTG. I'm not sure what he was checking. Nice quick fight though.
And Trinex goes down. And it's the other useless boomerang.
Yeah. You didn't want the first one? Well, here's the second one. Nice Trinex fight from SAGTG there. Yeah, you come across a Trinex and you're trying to remember, do I have the ice rod? I do. Okay, here we go. Where is GTG going? It's choosing the...
Turtle Rock. Actually, I don't believe GTD has been on the mountain at all yet.
Yeah, I think you're right.
At least not since the initial Aga Tower play.
No, he got the hook shot a lot later than Frostbite, and has been busy with other things. So
Yeah.
So if you're just joining us, we are playing a inverted all dungeons randomized swords hard mode endomizer. This is game 4 between the Titans Mitts and the Fendrana Drifters. Titans Mitts are up 2 games to 1. If SAGTG is able to pull this off, he will bring the Titans Mitts into the division finals against Team 4K Fourth and Forehead. Frostbite trying to keep the Fendrana Drifters alive, and they've scheduled game 5 if necessary between, I want to say, Jet and Dante for Saturday. Nice vitreous fight from Frostbite there.
Yep.
Picking up his
He
bottle.
heads into Tower of Hera. A very disappointing Tower of Hera.
Yeah,
Happy
there's
with at some
nothing
point.
here.
And he did get to check that ether tablet, which, while it didn't have anything, Frostbite did leave that behind earlier.
Yeah, that is true.
Something he may come back for at some point.
The real question is, what is inside Misery Mire that SAGTG skipped? Did we get a hint or something from Misery Mire that I don't remember?
We know one of the items is some cash on the firelocked side, but I don't believe we know about the second item. So we'll see if Frostbite opts to check some more stuff here in Misery Mire, or if he does the same thing.
I imagine he's at least going to take a look at what's here.
Oh, and that is the one item that we did not know about, so GTG not missing much here.
GTG going to give us a look at Laser Bridge.
Not really proven itself too great so far.
Well, just one item. So GTG making some really fortunate skips, mostly with this Swamp Palace. You know, he skipped out the one item in Misery Mire, which he just walked by. Didn't save too much time there. And we've got a chain chomp on the maze. That's nice.
Yeah, those chain jumps can show up at some rather unfortunate spots. We've got our big key.
All right. Little vanilla vitreous for Frostbite here in Misery Mire.
Yeah.
Where are we going to find that bow?
Yeah, it's still no signs of that.
Pod seems like a really good place for it.
Yeah, at this point we're basically down to Turtle Rock, Pod, and Ice Palace.
And don't forget Chet's favorite, the pedestal.
Of course.
Man, this room is so much easier without the chain chomps. It's not like it's not too difficult of a room, but
Yeah.
the chain chomps aren't there. It's cake.
I remember last time I played Randomizer, that room had 2 chickens in it.
Oh, nice. I always love when I see chickens show up in spots of rough enemies.
Yeah.
So where's Frostbite gonna head? After the bad mirror spot there. Where are you feeling it, Goomba? Where is that bow?
I'm feeling Ice Palace, I think.
Yeah, it feels like an Ice Palace sort of Ice Palace
Or
sort of bow.
maybe it's in the bow side of Pod, you know? These
Yeah.
Randomizer things.
Nice move there from SAGTG, realizing didn't have enough magic to light the torches. Pulls a U-turn. Refills his magic and is able to pull it out. Alright, we got a key and a heart container.
Nothing too great so far in Turtle Rock. Let's see what the boss has to offer. The boss does have an item, since both the map and compass were found.
Did he check the big chest?
He did not. I suspect he'll probably do that afterwards.
Yeah, he still has to check Mimic Cave as well, so
Yeah.
makes routing that in together pretty easy. And it looks like Frostbite's gonna follow suit and head up to Turtle Rock as well.
Makes sense. We got Argus.
Nice clean Argus fight from SAGTG there. Two spins, and we got 5 rupees. So SAGTG gonna check out the rest of Light Death Mountain. Probably check out the big chest as well.
Yeah. Seems rather likely.
Meanwhile, Frost will be just a little bit behind him, checking out Turtle Rock. So SAGTG has actually got a pretty decent lead, having cleared Turtle Rock, having cleared Eastern in one go. Frostbite's going to have to go back there.
Yeah. Although this bow can still change everything.
Yeah, Frostbite needs to go somewhere that GTG hasn't been. Obviously, he doesn't know where GTG is, but...
And Frost has already done most of these checks on Death Mountain, so that'll give him some time back as the GTG catches up on those checks.
So does GTG do Ice Palace next, or is he going to go do Pod next? I imagine Ice, right?
He'll go to Ice Palace.
After beating Ice Palace, you've got the Red Bomb as well.
Yep.
We should point out, these runners have been putting on a good race for us. So make sure you give them a follow. We'll put their links here in the chat. And all the runners that we've had in the league have been a lot of fun to watch, especially here in the playoffs. This first week of the playoffs has been pretty bananas. Some really close races.
Yeah, there's been some rather good ones.
So make sure you're giving these guys a follow. After this race, Goomba here will actually be racing for the last locationers against the lane on Speed Gaming Prime, the main Speed Gaming channel. I want to say it's 6 p.m., right?
That is correct, yes.
So make sure you check that out as well.
Those are some nice rollers.
Yeah. All right, so SAGGG making the play for Ice Palace, some cash. I missed it. Was that in
some cash in
pod?
I think it said.
So we've got 3 hints and 3 items here on Ice Palace. Let's see if we've got our bow.
They are pretty quickly running out of locations for that bow to be. I'm sure it'll turn up sooner or later.
You represent one of the members of the last locationers. You've been getting a lot of applications, right, from these playoff runners to join your team.
Oh yeah.
The natures of these seeds have been pretty tough lately.
For sure. Oh,
wow, that's change drums.
Really rude change drum placements.
Yeah,
that could be nasty.
Nice dodging from SAGTG. Oh, and bailed out with that Swamp Palace hit.
Yeah.
Left side of Swamp hint. Alright, so Frostbite's made his way through Turtle Rock, on his way back to Argus now. Be picking up his crystal from Turtle Rock, and we'll see if he decides to do Ice Palace, which makes logical sense, or if he wants to make the risk and go to pod without that bow, hoping to find the bow there.
Yeah, I think taking the risk and going to House of Darkness without the bow is probably a pretty reasonable play in this situation. We'll see if he goes for it. There's also some stray overworld checks that I believe our owners have not checked. I'm not sure if we ever saw the purple chest. I know we saw the smiths, but I don't think the purple chest was checked.
I don't think we did.
The pedestal, of course, is available for both our owners. Spike cave, I'm not sure. I don't believe our owners checked that.
Yeah, all locations you don't really want to check.
Yeah.
And these spike locations right now are pretty mean.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of.
Wow.
What a room.
Yeah, GTG gotta be careful here. Wow, that spike. Ice Palace is what we've been looking for this whole seed.
Yeah, this Ice Palace is what Randomizer should be about.
Yeah. Especially if you're doing a hard Randomizer. Come on. Alright, so Frost can check out the big chest of Turtle Rock, and GTG taking a death.
That's a very unfortunate time loss there.
Yeah, that's costly.
By a few minutes.
Yeah, if you're rooting for the Findarner Drifters, that's exactly what you needed for Frost to catch up. And here we go. Frostbite making the play for Ice Palace.
Yeah, looks like he's getting a potion. Okay. Probably prepping for Ice Palace. Yeah, it looks like an Ice Palace play.
Yeah, he kept going different ways. He could be making his way to Pod, but yeah, he's going to Ice Palace. Fairly confident. I'm fairly confident he's going to make his play for Ice Palace now.
It looks like he's going for Ice Palace.
Yeah, I'm
not
pretty
quite
sure.
But
Pretty sure now.
It's starting to look that way, at least.
All right, so chance for Frostbite to make up a little bit of time here. Still down a dungeon.
Yeah, although he has completed most of.
Yeah, it just has to
sprint through and defeat Trinex.
Yep.
And he can route it in with Palace of Darkness when he goes there, so
yep,
it won't be too bad.
GTG having a little bit of trouble with this bomb jump and is down to 1.5 hearts.
Ops do not do the bomb jump at all, which is probably a wise decision, given his health.
Yeah, but again, gonna slow things down a little bit. When the race is close, you don't have a lot of time to give away.
Yeah, every little mistake hurt quite a bit. Frostbite not having a great time with chain chomps.
Yeah, those chain chomps do not want to let him by. Third hint, not as helpful. So, how many items have we seen?
I think that powder might have been the first one. I'm not sure.
So, GTG gonna powder that anti-fairy and be rewarded with a single heart. This is hard mode.
Yeah. There's item number 2. Oh wait, no, yeah, we have seen all 3 items at this point, I believe.
Okay.
I believe the first chest had an item, so yes, we have seen all the items in Ice Palace now. That is a pokey. Thankfully, not getting in the way. It would be pretty amusing if our owners had been running around looking for this bow and just been sitting on the pedestal they've had access to this whole time.
Yeah. I kind of hope it is.
I say GTG having to go out of his way to collect a small key since he did not perform the bomb jump.
Yeah, this is, again, going to cost him a bit of time. Chance for Frost to make up time here. All right, Gooba, what are we going to have here?
No, we haven't seen them show up yet, so I'm gonna say land Molus.
I'm 100% in agreement.
No, it's another Trinex.
Another
All right.
Trinex. Trinex number 2. Ice Trinex. Big props to Mystic Gaming for keeping track of all the different bosses we've encountered so far. And just to show how much of a time lost that was for SAGTG, Frostbite taking on Trinex just a few seconds behind him.
Yeah, Frostbite's almost caught up now. Although he is still down that Eastern Palace boss, which will be a few minutes once he gets around to that. But our runners have now basically completed all the dungeons except for Palace of Darkness.
Yep.
It's just a matter of where that bow is.
Do you go into pod? I imagine you do, right? Before making those overworld checks.
Looks like that's what SAGTG is going for. Let's see if Frostbite follows suit. Given that he has not yet killed the Trinex in Eastern Palace, it's pretty likely he'll do the same play.
It's just tough because if you don't find the bow and pod, then you got to double dip it again.
Oh, no, Frostbite is deciding to check some overworld spots for the bow first.
Yeah, I think he's going to turn in the red bomb here.
Yeah. And I don't believe he's been at the pyramid either, so there's that item for him as well, which we saw was nothing from SAGTG earlier.
Alright, this is going to be it, folks. Who's going to find that bow first?
I'm not sure if we have seen Catfish yet.
I believe we saw Catfish. I think Frostbite did it when he routed in Zora.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
Oh, no, for Frostbite. That's the bow just sitting there in pod.
That hurts.
So, the Titans mitts with a really big lead now. There's our Quake Medallion and 10 arrows. If Frostbite and the Findrana Drifters want to stay alive, Frostbite needs to make his way immediately to pod.
Yeah.
It looks like that might be what he's doing. So he's going to do Eastern first. Knows that he can clear it now.
So SAGTG has a lead of a few minutes currently.
Yeah, this is hard mode. This is Randomizer. These are really good runners. Things can happen though. Randomizer is an equalizer, so
yeah,
it's definitely not over.
But it is looking grim for the Drifters right now.
And bow and pod is just mean.
Yeah, that's never something you want to see. That big key in pod is not playing nice either.
Yeah, it is not. Got ourselves a compass. Got ourselves another key.
Got ourselves a wall master.
Oh, wow. Alright, where's the pod? Big key. There's a...
In the very
heart
last
container.
possible spot, of course. Or was it in the front and he skipped it, perhaps?
I guess, yeah. Was it vanilla?
I guess so. Looks that way.
Rip.
Alright. That's unfortunate. That could give Frostbite some more time back if he checks that earlier.
Alright, so there is the vanilla big key. Head number 1 down for Frostbite. There goes head number 2.
And there goes the shell. And down goes Trinix.
Nice Trinix fight from Frostbite. Goomba, we've got our last dungeon here.
Yep.
Been pretty good
You know
as
what that
predicting.
means.
What's gonna be?
Let's see.
What's the last one gonna be? And then actually we got the big key guessing game after that. So
Let's see. I'm gonna say it'll be our very first blind.
that's right. We haven't seen blind.
Blind,
I'm
Landmolas, and
I'm gonna go
Lava.
Landmo. Yeah, I'm gonna go Landmo.
I haven't seen any of those bosses.
All right, so Frostbite. Gonna go grab Kiki and we'll head into Pod, and just be a few minutes behind GTG. Again, this is Randomizer. Things can go sideways for us in Ganon's Tower.
All kinds of weird things could happen in GT. You could get wall mastered at the top for all we know.
Right. So this, GTG's got a decent lead from here, but there's a lot of things can happen. So GTG is going to face this boss, and once he finishes the boss and collects his 7th crystal, we're going to start the big key guessing game. There are, don't get your guesses in until we hit start in the chat. There are 22 different locations where the big key can be. If you are a sub or supporter, someone who's donated at least 250 bits to Speed Gaming, and you guess correctly, you can be added to our leaderboard. And we get a four-eyed moldworm.
Not the most exciting boss.
All right, so let's start it.
As Frostbite collects his bow.
All right, so there's crystal number 7. GTG gonna make his way to Hyrule Castle to face Ganon. Who flutes to 5. Okay, this makes sense. This is where he's gonna mirror.
He'll take the portal and save and quit to the Ganon's Tower entrance.
So we're gonna stop this game pretty quickly. Get your guesses in. Goomba, where do you think it's gonna be?
I'm gonna go with chest number 9.
All right, we're gonna stop it there. I went number 11. 9 and 11 are the ones I like to go with. I've got 7 wins, so I think I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
All right, chest number 1 is our small shield.
Which would be the mirror shield once Frostbite gets it. Or finds it, rather. I doubt he'll bother picking it up.
Number 2 is the map. Number 3, 3 bombs. Number 4 is a small key. Number 5 is the bug net. And no dark magician.
Ooh, SAGG is continuing left without checking the hub room. That
Wow.
is a bold decision. We're also gonna see on Frostbite's end. Oh, did he collect the big key already? No.
He did
Frostbite.
not.
Frostbite, you
This is going to cost him a bit of time.
Buddy.
I don't see this routing very often where you skip Hope Room completely.
It's something I do occasionally if I feel extremely behind, but it's pretty bold. Maybe he'll choose... I've seen some people do a route where they go left to the randomizer room, and then mirror and go right all the way to Ice Armos. Maybe
Yeah.
that's what we're seeing here.
All right, number 8, 50 rupees. Number 9, a single rupee. Number 10, 10 arrows. And number 11, I missed it, was arrows as well. And that's what he's doing. He's going to mirror out and go full right from here.
Yep.
I believe this is number 12. Number 13.
And Frostbite realizes his mistake.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. And he's actually going to last location it as well, as he's going to skip out on the vanilla chest.
Yeah. That is unfortunate.
So any chance he had to make up in pod has all but vanished now.
Yeah, this one is SAGTG's race to lose at this point, I would say.
See, I've lost track of our numbers here. Is this 14? 15? 16? 17?
As Big Key's not playing nice.
It is
That
not.
could be good for Frostbite. If it's in the tile room and he goes for it, you know, that is
Wow.
rude. Spike trap. I'm not quite sure.
How you get through there?
Yeah, I don't think you do.
Wow, that's
wow.
that is really unfortunate for SAGTG.
Looks like GTG thought about going for tile room after that, but changed his mind. That could give Frostbite a bit more time.
Yeah. Wow. And actually, Frostbite's still going to skip it. He's going to go left side because he skipped that chest in the bombable wall. So this is actually going to take him even more time.
And as a reminder to chat, this is hard difficulty, so Cane of Burnout does not provide vulnerability.
Yep. So having to make his way all the way to Armos Knights, possibly Armos Knights. Oh, we got another prediction. But what's it going to be? Is it we going to get Armos Knights, or are we going to get something else?
How about some Trinex Ice?
Ugh. GTG using that powder again to pick up that single heart.
Frostbite finally gets his Palace of Darkness Big Key.
You know what? You know what would be terrible is Cold Stare.
Yeah, that would be unpleasant. I mean, most bosses are unpleasant on ice. Oh, we got Wallmaster as well.
Oh man.
Oh, it's
Helma.
another Helmasaur King.
Alright, so Frostbite does have his big key now. Is able to go back and will be able to fight. I can't remember the boss in pod.
It was Moldor.
Okay, so nice, quick, easy fight there.
SAGTG opting to use bombs to defeat Helmasaur King, which might be more convenient given the ice physics.
Yeah, does have to be careful.
Yeah, those bombs are just bouncing right back at him.
Alright, able to get the mask off.
And managed to defeat them was working.
Is it going to be Talrun?
Could they? And honestly, I would not be terribly surprised to see Frostbite go for it. Nope.
21. Wow.
It's always 21, it's never 22.
Alright, our first Subris reporter with the closest guess was Space Mousy with a guess of 20. Congratulations to them. We will be adding you to the leaderboard here.
I say it's quite low on health here. This is a bit dicey.
Yeah, he's got to be careful. Alright, so Frost having a little bit of trouble there. He was able to save and quit. So let's see if his GT routing can save him anytime at all. Unable to get the bow dash, so gonna have to sit through the crystal animation. GTG got to be really careful here.
Oh. And he takes a death from something. I'm not sure what.
Yeah, no idea what was under there. I mean, this just goes to show you how close this actually is. Randomizer is a true equalizer.
Yeah. SAGT does still have a lead, but it's shrinking.
Yeah, it looks like Frostbite's probably going to do more traditional DM strats here. For his sake, hopefully he doesn't do full Dark Magician strats. I don't think he does often, but he might be. Yeah.
It would, in theory, be the fastest way to get to the big key for him, but I don't think he can get past that spike trap, so...
Yeah. Alright, how is our gauntlet going to treat us today?
Stocking up before the gauntlet, which seems advisable.
First room is pretty cake.
Yeah, nice and easy first room. Second room, not much worse. In fact, it's the exact same enemy configuration.
Yep.
Some levers. Very tame gauntlet so far.
Yeah, nothing to cause our runners too much of trouble. With how the seed has been going, it's not that surprising.
And we're just going down in difficulty, I see.
Yeah. Was that last room too hard for you? Let's make it a little bit easier.
So what boss are we gonna see in this room?
Try an X again.
I'm thinking it's gonna be blind this time. Uh-oh, sounds like a Moldorm. And it is a Moldorm.
So no blinds at all.
Yeah. We have not seen Mafia yet either. Or Lenmolas. I don't believe Lenmolas or blind can be in the Moldorm 2 room.
Yeah. Vidi. You can see a Vidi up there.
Yeah, it could be Vitreous, could be Cold Stare, could be Helmasaur King. Helmasaur King on that platform is always unpleasant.
Yes. All right, pretty clean gauntlet for SAGTG with a hard randomizer. Enemies playing nice today. All right, Frostbite in Rando Room, still ways away from getting his big key. Man, this room is pretty easy anyways, but without that fire bar.
Yeah, although I did have a chain chomp there once, that was unpleasant.
Oh yeah. Oh, that thing getting in his way, and he taking a little fall there.
I'll back down to get the magic refill.
Yeah, that worked out for him. Ooh, Frostbite get bullied off the edge there. GTG not interested in any other chests. Gonna pick up that key. Not gonna refill his magic. Thinking about it.
He goes for it, which is probably advisable. This could be colds there after all. No, it's just another Moldorm.
Man, I'm sorry, chat. In the beginning of the seed, I promised some crazy banana stuff, and it's been pretty tame for these runners. But Moldorm's still pulling out the trolls. So, thanks to Mystic Gaming again for keeping track of us. 4 Moldorms, 2 Armos, a Vidi. I think there was actually 2 Trinex. Moldorm, Helma, and... Oh yeah, so 2 Armos, 2 Vidi, 2 Trinex, 2 Moldorm, 2 Helma, and 1 Argus.
Yeah, I believe we had Trinex in Eastern Palace and Ice Palace.
This room could be a hellscape as well.
This looks unpleasant. But, no, almost. Okay, we made it through. I was like not having a good time with this Ice Helmasaur King.
Yeah, when you start spitting out those fireballs, and it just slows the whole thing down.
Not having a great time with this Aghanim 2 fight so far. And takes him down. So SAGTG will be moving on to the Ganon fight.
Alright, our runners did pick up silver arrows, so they haven't been able to use them before. They will be able to use them here in Ganon's room.
Yep. Meanwhile, Frostbite is about to collect his big key and start heading up the tower.
GTG does need to be careful. Can't take any hugs here.
Misses the 1 cycle on the first phase. Oh. Needs to be real careful now. Not having a great time with this Ganon fight.
Yeah, and down he goes.
Back at it again.
Going a lot better this time.
Yeah.
See if he can get the 1 cycle in phase 2 here. Again, has to be careful. Taking a lot of damage, though, into phase 3 now.
Yeah, but he's past the most dangerous part of the fight, so he should be in the clear from here, hopefully. And on to phase 4.
Yeah, should be good from here. Only down to 1 heart, but just has to pluck a little arrows into him.
And SAGTD takes down Ganon. So get your GGs in chat. Assuming he crosses this bridge, of course. There's always that little obstacle.
Yeah. And with that, SAGTG is finished in first place with an official time of 2 hours, 2 minutes, 30 seconds, giving 3 wins to the Titans Mints and advancing them to the division finals against Team 4K Fourth and Forehead. GG's to SAGTG and the Titans Mints.
GG's.
See if we can get GTG in here. Chat. And the sound of it, we are now joined by the Titans Mitts SAGTG. GG's, buddy.
Thanks. Want to say GG to Frostbite and to all the members of the Fen John Drifters. It was definitely a very tough series of games.
Yeah.
Quite a show here for us.
So you chose this mode, this inverted hard all dungeons Randomizer, and we were hoping for some really mean stuff, and it didn't really turn out that way.
I was too. When I opened all those chests in Hype Cave and it just immediately gave me the Light World starter pack, I was just thinking, really?
Yeah, this was not the most mean of Randomizer seeds.
No.
Actually.
It's funny, I drilled just the beginning of several seeds last night just to get a feel for stuff I might have to watch out for. I didn't have to think about that at all because the game was just, here you go. Then GT, that was really bad. But
yeah.
Aside from that, the seed was pretty nice. Wasn't happy about that one really bad spike in Ice Palace, but if I had been a little cleverer and just decided to dive pod after EP, I wouldn't have even ever had to see that room. So that's what I get for doing that.
Yeah, the seed wasn't too hard as far as Randomizer goes, but it did put bow and pod. So, you know, whoever wants to go in a pod without your bow. You did have a couple of errors in Ice Palace and, of course, in GT, but you had enough of a lead there, having only single dipped Eastern Palace and a couple different checks. You got boots quite a bit earlier than Frostbite overall, but got to be happy with the win and a chance to move on.
Yeah, definitely. I'll be hitting up some practice, and next week going to be giving it my all just as much as this.
Definitely looking forward to seeing some more great games here in the league playoffs. And playing some games, hopefully. As Frostbite is taking on Negative.
You feeling good about your chances against Team 4K Fourth and Forehead? Did you guys play? I don't think you played them this season, did you?
We did play them in the regular season, and we traded wins and losses there. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. I feel like we're going to be in for a very tough matchup, but that's been the same just about every week. So I'm just hoping that we can squeak out ahead again.
Anything really stick out from the seed other than maybe that bow? Both of you left boots in Sphere 1 location there.
Yeah, that room was just very much with everything I had at that precise moment. I didn't want to go back to it. It would have felt pretty bad, so I left it behind. Aside from that, I felt like my route really worked out, aside from getting the bow as late as I did, but even then, it seemed like it didn't hurt me that much. Going up GT, after that one death, I kind of threw the brakes on just a little bit because I was having this feeling of, given the way the seed had been going, I felt like I was either way ahead or way behind. So I wanted to make sure I cooled down and didn't accidentally blow it away dying at the top of GT or something. Now, Frostbite was telling me in the chat that apparently he had to revisit some dungeons, at least Eastern Palace, because of Trinex, whereas I got the Ice Rod before I ever found a Trinex, so that was really fortunate for me. But it could have easily just gone the other way if Ice Rod had been somewhere else, and then Swamp Palace had a Trinex. So that's just Randomizer being Randomizer, really.
Yep. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, Frostbite did end up double dipping Eastern Palace. And speaking of Frostbite, he has just finished Ganon, so GG.
GG's to Frostbite, who finishes in second place with a time of 2 hours, 8 minutes. GG's to him. See if we can pull him in. Overall, that was a pretty fun seed to watch, though. You know, we were hoping for some more trolls, stuff that was a little bit more difficult, but you guys made nice work of it.
I was definitely hoping for some more cold stairs instead of 0.
I definitely would have been okay with some cold stairs or maybe a blind somewhere. It seems like Moldorm, Armos Knights, Vitreous, and Trinex were the real standouts today.
Yeah, Landmola, Blind, Mothula, Cold Stare. None of them ever showed up.
And we are joined now by Frostbite. GG's, buddy.
I dislike the fact that you put those boots in that chest, Fear Agent, if I may say so. Thanks, buddy. GGSAGTG, awesome run. I'm sure it was fun to watch, maybe until I decided to lose my mind in Pod. But other than that, it was maybe the freest seed I had out of my practice of these nonsense things. But awesome job, GG. Glad you guys. I mean, not glad you guys would have won, but I like you guys, so I'm happy you guys made it through. And good luck in the next round against 4K.
GG, and thanks a lot. Definitely going to be giving it our best.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as like hard Randomizer inverted seeds go, you know, you can't complain about that one.
No, this was free. It was, like I said, I think the most combat difficulty I had was on Ice Helmasaur, which I hate that fight. It's so laggy. It's so hard to move around on the ground. You know, without like in V29 you had unlimited bombs, so you didn't really have to consider that. But I only had like 8 bombs, so I didn't want to burn them in case I had to use the bombs on an Helmasaur upstairs. So that was rough. But other than that, I didn't have too many issues with the combat itself. And because it was an early Aga seed, that was really nice because basically I took that almost as soon as I could, and it unfortunately kept me away from the boots and the bow. So
yeah, a pod bow is just the worst.
Yeah, I think, you know, in retrospect, what really hurt me, it was the boots that hurt me, not just because of you know, obviously getting the boots later than the opponent is a detriment, but obviously it right blocked the mirror. And if I'd had the mirror when I went to Eastern Palace the first time, I definitely would have dove into pod at that point in time. But after I'm done, I mean, even though the right side isn't actually bow locked. It's still logically bow locked, and so I was afraid of spending all the time to go over there, and then I'm going to end up getting the compass in the first chest, and I know the thing I'm looking for isn't there at that point. So obviously that was the play, and I didn't quite last located. I had the Smiths, and I had Spike Cave, all the great spots, Ted, Ether Tablet, and King's Tomb. But other than that, I basically last located Pod. But that's cruel. Bow and Pod is evil. But the seed, I think, was kind of telling you something was in Pod. It gave you those boots before you had to go through Aga. So I was super suspicious of the boots the whole game. I just didn't, after you find the hammer, you don't think about going over there with boots, right? And it wasn't meaning that anyways necessarily, but you could have had all that stuff really early, and then basically it was go to Swamp Palace and Ice Palace, and that's all she wrote, right? Like that was about it.
Yep.
And I just want to say again, like, Thieves Town Big Chest, please.
Yeah, I felt really lucky that I just never went into Thieves Town until I could already full clear it, because that would have been terrible for me.
I did the front 4, but I saw that Armos, and I had 3 hearts and Fighter Sword, and I was like, there's a good chance I can do this. It's going to take 2 minutes at a best-case scenario, and there's a good chance I'm going to spend 90 seconds on this and then die and have to come back here anyways. So I left that, because otherwise I absolutely would have last located that book, 100%. And because of the fact that where whatever the heck Ack and I were looking for in our race, the Ether Medallion or whatever ended up being in that chest, I would have purposefully last located it, like challenging the game to do me like that twice. And of course it would have, because it's the game.
Well, of course.
But no, this was a super fun seed, honestly. This I was worried because I did 2 practice seeds last night that were uncompletable. And I'm not like saying they were hard. I mean, like you couldn't beat them. There was rollers and spots that you couldn't damage boost through with the health you had given, and then this came up, and I was super happy that I didn't die a million times. And yeah, it was a really fun seed.
Yeah, I was pretty upset when you guys got Tempered Sword at like minute 20.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
This was a very, very tame seed for these types of settings, I have to say.
So Frostbite, that's going to close the chapter on the Finjana Drifters for season 1.
Yeah.
Impressions on the league and how things went for you guys.
Well,
it's always disappointing to lose in the playoffs, but you got to be happy with where you guys ended up in the first season.
Of course. Hey, at least we made the playoffs, Kappa. I'm joking, of course, but no, it was awesome. It was super fun. I like 1v1 races because it's we do some 1v1s and chat and stuff in times, but it's a different mindset, and the big races can be very demoralizing over time because there's so many good races in this community, and you make a couple bad choices and you go from 3rd to 17th, and it's frustrating. But in the 1v1 races, I feel like it's sort of almost like a more, I don't want to say cautious approach, but I don't feel like I have to make insane gambles the way I feel if I'm in a race with 10 top runners. Like, I'm not the best runner. If I don't take crazy gambles, I can't win, right? So I really enjoyed the 1v1s. I thought the league was a great setup because having the teammates to cheer you on and I mean, it puts a little more pressure on you on one side, but it's fun to watch your teammates and, meet new runners and learn sort of their routing preferences and things and improve your game. And obviously it's a first time things. I think there's things we'd all like to tweak about the league, but I thought it went really well. And I thought, given that, ain't nobody getting paid Goodell bucks to run this thing, it ran pretty smoothly. I mean, it's a little touch and go trying to get comms and trackers at the last minute, but people always came through. And Fear Agent specifically, you deserve a ton of credit for putting it on. And I think it's the fact that it's running so smoothly is a lot due to you as well.
I appreciate that.
I still think it's rigged to hell, but like that's just my own.
Sure. Sure. Yeah, I'll never live that one down now, thanks to you. I appreciate that. So it's still early. We don't even know plans for season 2 yet, but have you talked with the Finjana Drifters? Do you guys plan to stick it together and run it back for season 2, or?
We haven't talked about it yet. I would definitely be down for that if they're up for hauling my carcass around again. But we haven't spoken about that yet. I'd probably wait a couple days. But yeah, no, I think we all had a pretty dang good time, and it was you know, if I'm not on this team, I'm sure I'll be on some team because I'm like horribly addicted to this game, and so that's just the way it's going to go. But no, I thought it was really fun. I love the format and the settings, and you know, maybe no inverted Randomizer next time, but other than that, no, I'm kidding. I had a blast in this game, and the whole tournament.
Goomba, you got anything else?
No, I think that just about covers everything I wanted to say.
Aren't you playing in like half an hour, Goomba?
Yes.
Sure is. All right, let's wrap this up so Goomba can get out of here. SAGTG, Frostbite, any last thoughts before we sign off here? As GTG, you still got some more races coming up. Frostbite, obviously, this is the last one for the league, but you know, we'll see more from you.
Yeah, just want to say thanks to everybody who helped make this exciting restream happen. And once again, GG to Defend Drone and Drifters.
Yeah, awesome. GG to the Titans, Myth, SAGTG, Dante, and Edium. They're all great guys. And, you know, obviously I would have liked to have taken this match to give Jet a chance tomorrow, but it didn't happen. And you know, I gave it my best. And I don't think I embarrassed myself, which I was actually worried about when I woke up this morning. So what can you do, right? It is what it is. It's a competition, and I lost. And awesome job to GTG again, and good luck in the next round.
Yeah, you guys both did a good job, and you have nothing to be ashamed about or feel bad. Like, you know, it was that bow. It happens. That's rando, and if you can't live with that, then you're probably playing the wrong game. So, yeah.
It was definitely a great series to watch. GG's to both teams.
All right, so as mentioned, Goomba here will be racing against the Lane on Speed Gaming 1, or Speed Gaming, here in about 40 minutes. So you don't want to miss that. Goomba from the last location is trying to advance his team to the division finals against Ferrani, who did an interview if we win, and Thalane trying to keep Team Awesome alive. So don't want to miss that. Big shout out to our tracker today, Literally Jen. As always, does an awesome job and keeps us on track. And we can't do this without her. And of course, give a follow to all of our runners, to Goomba, to Literally Jen, to the Speed Gaming network of channels. And hopefully everyone has enjoyed the league so far as we wrap up week 1 of the playoffs and head into the division finals next week. It's going to be a blast. Tune in for Goomba's race here in about 40 minutes. Don't want to miss it. Goomba, it's always great doing commentary with you. I love hanging out with you, so that was a blast.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this. I'll be looking forward to doing some more of this in the future, I hope.
So go get a little break before you have to put yourself through what your race seeds. I'm not even sure what it is. I think Key Sanity, maybe?
Yeah, it's going to be standard Key Sanity.
So have fun with that, buddy. And to everyone out there, thanks for watching. We really appreciate it, and we'll see you next time.